and we're going to draw the conversations from our listeners. Cool. You know what I mean? So we're going to bring some new stuff back. We thank you, Danielle.
Hey.
Avid listener. You know what I mean?
Avid, absolutely.
So we are starting off with a lady. Anything new? How you been? How's life been treating you?
Good, I'm back to work.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Around over, you know?
After 3 months.
Yes. So we gotta welcome her back. Everybody that don't know, she was in a horrible car motorcycle accident.
Absolutely. Yeah,
we call her the road warrior. She survived it. Man upstairs, you know what I mean? So yeah, it's definitely a pleasure to have you back in here.
Thank you.
Yeah, man, it's been too long, man. I don't even know where to go at with it. You know what I mean? I just got, you know how you get the jitters, you know what I mean? Little butterflies and stuff. Right. I was driving down the road, you know. Unfortunately, you know, all the Ravens fans is out tonight. So a lot of people can't drive on the road. Took me a little longer to get here than I expected, son.
You know, sometimes you're part of the city and sometimes you're not.
Sometimes I'm not. You know what I mean? You know what I realized about myself today? I might be a little bit pregnant.
Okay. Well, I think we all are to a degree.
So this, I was on the phone and I was like, am I prejudiced to whom? Or am I just judgmental? Because they could be real close.
It's a thin line.
It's a thin line, you know what I mean? Because it was this dude in front of me, and I don't know what he was doing, why he was driving the way he was driving.
Right.
I don't know how he didn't see the 500 cars in front of us that had their brake lights on. Mm-hmm. But he was driving like a bat out of hell. Right. And at the last minute, he decided that he should not slam into the car in front of him. So he swerved, and he did all of that. He did not hit the car. All right? So when I finally got up to him and I saw him, he was Mexican. And the first thing I said was, oh, damn, you was probably drunk. So, but
as soon as the cop pulled you over, I said the same thing. Now you mad.
So I wasn't sure about, was I being prejudiced or
was this the day or was it the mind?
It was today. This just happened like 22 minutes ago. You know what I mean? So I was like, maybe I'm just being a little judgmental, prejudging him. But the way he was driving, and then when I saw him, I'm like, oh yeah, he's probably good. He's probably lit already. I'm trying to figure myself out.
That's tough from there, bro.
You know what I mean? I don't know. Was I being judgmental or was I being a little petty? I don't know. I don't know. I really don't know. That's why I'm asking. Because in my mind, I was being judgmental. The person I was on the phone with said I was being a little petty.
Cuz what's going on, dog? Melissa, yes, it feels good to be back, love.
I'm trying to figure
it back.
Yeah. Ask Melissa, did she hear that? Was I being prejudiced?
Was he being prejudiced or judgmental?
I'm trying to figure myself out. Because
I wouldn't call it judgmental or
you wouldn't call it either one?
Something else.
I was being an asshole. Oh, yeah, I take that. Yeah, we can say that on there. But I was because as soon as I saw him, I was like,
so what, was he being an asshole to you?
He was driving like an asshole. Okay. Yeah, he was all over the place, dog.
Maybe he just wasn't conscious and he was just in his phone. Maybe.
Okay, you got both.
I got both.
Anna says both.
Okay. It might have been. I got to do better, and I know. I got to do better. But I did feel certain kind of
It's shooting news these days, man.
Yeah, man.
Road rage is serious.
This dude, man, he was all. Oh, I didn't understand where he was going though.
Why he not going?
Because he's going to judge and keep moving.
This is the thing. I was driving at a safe distance. So he was not going to affect me one way or another. Okay. If he just slammed
but you need to pull up
if it didn't affect you one way or the other, how is this a conversation?
No. He was in front of me. Okay, right? So I decided to be safe. Right. And I backed on off. I let him have his space. You understand what I'm saying?
My sis says, you good, we prejudge daily.
Okay, I agree. Hey, I mean, I do. But, so I decided to travel at a safe distance.
Honestly, we're going to stereotype, bro.
I do. I'm going to work. I'm going to try.
I agree with that.
I'm going to try. But I was like, dog, it's like, he came from, you know how he was one of them dudes that went from the far right straight to the far left. Wow. I said, yeah, I'm going to get out of his way. He must be in a hurry. He must not got good seats and he want to get there, y'all. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, but I did. As soon as I saw who he was, I was like, I gotta do this.
man. The pole being away. You know what I mean? But then it just sound good. And it don't matter because then you put it right in her way.
Is that better?
That's cool.
That's better.
But then let me see.
You got the record.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
I hate that. I always try to hide.
I'm in films and all, so I'm trying to get it right.
Yeah, trying to get it right.
Trying to get this studio.
Ain't nothing wrong with it. So listen, we had so much happening, dog. Like y'all president doing stuff. What else? I'm sorry, this is Dave's president.
That's my man.
That's Dave.
Yeah.
What else we had? We had your boy Tech came out the closet.
Did he come out of the closet, or was he already out of the closet and people just realized it?
That's this. Well, I don't know if he.
I kind of knew he was funny when he did that movie back in the day with the preacher's kid, with the girl that used to be a part of Destiny's Child.
Yeah, I ain't never seen
the
that.
first. I ain't never seen it either.
Yeah, I see. You gotta look at the video.
The first Destiny's
Child.
Movie. It's a movie or
what is her name? Latonya Luckett.
Latonya Luckett.
So she was in the movie with him. So when I watched that, I was like, whoa, like the Lover Man that I used to fantasize about. When I saw the movie, I was like, oh, I'm seeing him in a different light.
Turned you off, huh?
Yeah, like.
Was he playing the gay character?
No, he wasn't. He was playing like this.
So does that put When We in a different whole life?
It did for me. Like anything after that movie for me was suspect, period. Like,
well,
I had just doubts.
So I didn't see the interview, but it was sent to me on many occasions, right? And I decided I wasn't going to listen to it. But then one of the little internet little skit guys, he did his little thing about it.
Dark Skin Yo?
Yeah. I can't get him. So I did listen to him, and I was like, I 100% agree with this dude.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Because this is the thing. I ain't got no homeboy that's going to stop. So when I finally did listen to it, I was like, what the hell? But he was saying, this is the thing that I didn't understand about the conversation.
Right.
It had no reason to go there.
It did because the women proposed it, right? But me being me, I'm like, yo, that's not even a conversation. Next time. Yeah. Like, what are you talking about?
But when they started talking about, they were still talking about what they was talking about. And he was in the background making his comments about something big twice. And then he was like, oh, and then you're gonna find out if you like the taste or not. What? No, dog.
When the thought came into your head, didn't stir you. You didn't have to say it twice to be that. When the thought came into your mindset at that time, bingo.
Dude, listen.
You right?
Listen, dog. No, I was like,
you must be one of your favorite artists or something, dude.
No, I'm not even. No. Listen, so I used to watch the Man Cave.
Okay.
That was a job. I like the show. I was like, well, dang, they got the right mix of guys. You know what I mean?
But you didn't think he was even trying too much in that?
But I think he was
always
doing
the
most. Yeah, he was always doing the most. But it was all right. It was whatever. That's just Tank. You need one of them metrosexual dudes to fill the void.
So that's all women?
No, I don't say nothing about it. I've never even had a Tank album in my house.
Now, vocally, I take nothing from the brother, right?
Yeah, good.
But
who is he singing?
Here's the thing though, because he performed at an LGBT event, I think last summer. And okay, you getting the check, you singing. But when he was singing and the first maybe 20 rows was nothing but men, while he's singing, he started gyrating like he's pumping his dick at him. I said, yo.
So we came down. So listen. All right, a couple things.
I'm back, FCC.
A couple things. I see where you're coming from because
why you do that?
I was doing fashion shows a couple years ago, right?
Okay.
You know what I mean? And you know that world.
Absolutely.
That's what it is. In that world.
So you sell your money.
Yeah. But so I'm sitting there and we were doing.
You sell tickets, money. You sell out in the show.
We were doing. It was an all-male show that we were doing, right? Okay. So we was interviewing. Well, it was model call for men, right? So I'm sitting there, my first experience. I'm sitting at I'm at the judge's table, but I don't really know what I'm judging.
Right.
I'm gonna be honest.
Okay.
You know, I had 2 gay men sitting beside me. One of them, I consider my little
Can I ask you a question real quick?
Yeah.
Were you in the middle?
No, I was on here. I was here. I was not. It was 2. It was 2 gay men to my right. To the left. Okay. And then there was a lady that was with us also. So I got up and walked out eventually because this dude came to the edge of the joint. Right? It was something thrown off, right? So he made his chest pop.
What? But he did the TRU scene.
So I politely excused myself because I was like, I didn't understand what the purpose of that was.
Right.
I said, and I didn't know if you was, straight or homosexual. I didn't know. I didn't ask. That wasn't on the paper we had to fill out, so I didn't know that didn't need to be a question. So
we got some tank in here.
So when he did it, I got uncomfortable. I was like, and so I asked the dude beside me, I said, what was that for? The dude said, I think he got uncomfortable. He was like, I don't know. He was like, it threw me off a little bit. I said, all right, well, y'all go ahead and finish. I'm going to go ahead. I trust y'all judgment. And y'all let me know how it goes. And then that was it for me. You know what I mean? But
hold on.
He bowed out.
You said you trust their judgment.
I trust their judgment. Whoever they going to pick, we going to use.
Oh, they judgment on that end.
On that end.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Whoever we going to pick. Whoever y'all pick.
The windows open. I'm like,
this is the thing about me, I'm okay in myself.
I know that's right.
I don't give a fuck about nobody.
Right.
But at that moment, I was just like, I didn't understand what the purpose of, if you sitting in front of a panel, you have a straight man, 2 homosexual men, and that's what they're going by now, right? So I don't say homosexual or gay.
Oh, no, because they're not incarnate. Because Malik Yoga said he's like both, but he's not that. He's still a heterosexual male. This is what he claimed.
Oh, he sounds confused.
He said he's a cis male, as a matter of fact.
I'm sorry, what?
A cis male.
Is that in the dictionary?
Anything in the dictionary, once you put it in there. Anything.
It's called a cis man?
This is what he said. He's a cis.
Check
it out, man. I didn't even say he said it. I was like, I'm going to tell you, when I watched the interview, I got like 15, 20 minutes after. I couldn't take no more because they was doing a whole lot of double talk. They was confused explaining what they was going through. So he was speaking on something. One of the transgenders said, no, it's not this. The other one said, no, it's not that. And the dude that was there too, he was like, no, we really gonna say this. Like, what? It was too confusing.
It made no sense.
No.
The only thing I heard about the Malik Yoba thing was that he considered transgender men women.
Not at all. She's stupid.
Ain't that what he said?
What he said again?
He considered them women now?
No, he is considered a cis male.
And what does that mean?
Now, in our... Huh?
CYST?
I
would think it'd be C.
A cis like a cis. I would think so too.
But see, they
a cis like a boy. Absolutely, man. That's how what's a cis? I don't know.
I would think he was sister male. Is what he was trying to say. Sister male. Listen, I can't keep up. We had a brother here, and he gave. You was here. He gave the definition of that. I didn't take time to dig it up because what?
Oh, the gentleman, he did say something.
No, you said
about it, and it kind of.
Yeah, because I remember the conversation, right?
Yeah.
From watching it then, and when you brought it up, I was like, okay,
I wasn't here.
You was here.
You were here.
I don't remember nothing.
You know why? Because certain things we just tune out naturally. That's why.
I don't remember that.
We just tune things out naturally.
I don't remember none of that, bro.
It made me for your benefit. You know what I'm saying?
Listen, I try not to speak on a lot of stuff that I don't know enough about.
Absolutely.
But it doesn't make me want to try new things either. Like, that's what I don't understand.
Okay.
Oh,
yeah, you're saying
CIS.
cisgender. Yeah, she just stopped.
CIS.
Thank you, Marcia. Thank you, Danielle.
Thank you.
And so what is it?
I was kicked for that.
It is.
Brother strong in sexuality.
Hold on, I'll be right back. I'm gonna go here.
You right? Yeah, you right back, son.
Everything is ever changing. I didn't know that.
So if that's the case, then so how is anything what it is?
So wait a minute, time out.
If I punch you in your eye right now,
I'm gonna
and I
back.
I will hope so. But I want to say, no, I didn't do that. That's not what that was. That was a love touch. That was a.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because they change.
So
everything changes.
If I'm reading this right,
Talk to me.
I don't know what it means. So
did you read it right?
So basically, it's just saying I was a boy at birth, and I identify as being a boy. I was a girl at birth. I identify as being.
That's what he said. That is.
So you know what? I would like to
know.
know.
What's your friend's name? That's what he said.
I forgot his name. The man you were from Philly.
Teacher.
Teacher. Everything is forever changing, man. So I was watching the joint the other day with Ebro, and he was talking about.
Yo, this is a made up shit right here.
Who put that in?
Well, I would beg to say the majority of it is.
If we put stuff in the dictionary,
I just want you to read it.
I'm good.
Now, it just means you identify as what you are. That's what you're supposed to do.
But why does it have to have cis on there?
Yeah, but it's
if I identify as a man, cis come in
where? Nowhere.
But in the old days, wasn't it sissy?
So is that what you're trying to call?
No.
Is that what he was trying to call himself? I would never come out my mouth and say that I'm that.
I would have respected him more if he just said he was gay.
I think so.
If you like men,
listen, I don't have a problem with people that identify. I have a problem more with people that don't.
I have a problem with people that don't and people that try to confuse.
Yeah.
Well, I had someone tell me they were trisexual. Not gay, not
was it a male or a female?
It was a female.
Oh,
but she said she was trisexual. She said she
tried anything.
She tried anything. So to me, that's a very broad statement.
I got a question.
If she likes
it, she likes it.
But I thought trisexual is equivalent to, that's the case, pansexual. No.
See, I'm not the one that labeled myself that.
Right?
It used to be.
Yeah, we don't know no more. But as man and as woman,
right?
I identify, and then the third is
and then there's earth.
As animal. So yeah, I saw a picture today of man, a female. Listen to this: a female that now identified as a male was pregnant by the male partner that now identifies.
Marcia said, I'm a cisgender male. Marcia, I'm coming down. You get North Carolina? Keep it doing. I'm coming. Huh? What you say?
So the man and a woman, the one that looked like the man, was pregnant.
Yeah, but see,
technically with a female.
And that's why
that makes no sense.
It did.
Because
it did.
That's a man having sex with a woman.
Basically.
That's what it is.
It's just.
But now he dresses like a woman and she dresses like a man.
Halloween all the time.
What do we walk into when we walk? Should we walk out the door and come back?
Come back and start over?
He was already in there. What are you talking about?
I'm just trying to figure it out. You know what? I'm lying if I say I'm trying to figure it out. I don't care enough to figure it out.
Nah, that takes some energy, man.
And I'm gonna tell you, then the second conversation that your boy Tech had was that he is proud to go in the women's section and buy shirts for himself.
Say what?
Yeah, he shops in the women's section because he likes the low cuts of their shirts.
I like V-necks too.
Well, he went
I got
t-shirt.
And he wears some great V-necks.
Yeah, but that's not what he's talking about. I guess he wants to show cleavage, so he likes the lower cut. You know how you've seen him in them dumb ass shirts where it's that low ass. That's like an oval. That oval neck shirt. And now that I look at him, I'm like, oh, you sissy. Like, I'm bad, yo. I'm
But
tired.
they make them for men too, though.
Not no man's store I've been in.
You went to the right one.
Well, it's not a man's store.
Hey.
I'm sorry, it's only certain sex. Listen, we keep giving these dudes too many passes. And I blame the women.
Well, that's what it leads to.
Because y'all made it okay.
Why do you keep blaming
You're
us women?
You're the only one here.
Because
if we sit
that's
here,
who push it.
if we sit here and
women push that. Men don't
push what? For Tank to come out the closet?
No, y'all make this.
You mad about Tank for real, ain't you?
No,
that's
I'm
really
about Tank.
Listen
but
though,
what are we pushing? Men being gay?
Y'all make this no.
You're doing what you want to do anyway.
No, y'all made this okay. So we sit here and be laughing about it, right? But if we was to come in here and just bash Malik Yoba and Tank, y'all would have a serious problem.
Was you here?
But I don't care.
Was you here the day when I said, and I know I told you and Reed this, I said, if I introduce myself as, hey, how you doing? My name is King. Who the fuck you talking to? Was what y'all would say. Your name ain't that. But if I said my name was Devita, oh, hey, Devita, how you doing? Quickly. Am I lying?
This is what y'all.
Okay.
But I still didn't answer either one because I
know why you didn't? Because you didn't want to say it. Yeah, you right.
No, because for me, if you came to introduce yourself as Devita, I'm gonna look at you like this big damn nigga. Like what the hell is this?
But you would say this big damn nigga. Hey, how you doing?
I would say, hey, how you doing?
Because I say, hey, how you doing? My name is King. My name is Elephant. My name was Geronimo. You be like, what?
His name is King these days. So why would I question? I wouldn't.
If it's the women that will not admit that the heterosexual male has been under attack for at least the last 7 years. It's true.
Whatever.
Everything that Tank is doing, everything Malik Yoba is doing, when a dude come out and just is 100% against it, they calling them gay and they not identifying with them, they become the problem. The things that Tank and Malik are saying, everybody's like, yeah,
hey, check this out.
I understand.
Let me do this real quick, right? Because we got a lot of comments, right?
Yeah.
I'm going to put this number out there.
Oh, they can call on it.
I need some phone calls. 570-763-9675. We put it in the comments. I need to hear what's going on in the world.
I mean, if you think about it, though, it's real. It's real. If we are not willing, if women are not willing to accept that the male is under attack, then it's going to continue to be a problem.
But then, at the same token, if we do something they don't like, it's toxic until we need to be toxic. They say, well, damn, wait a minute. What?
Yeah.
That's not true.
It is though.
It is not.
The man, what's going on?
Got a long wig on.
The long wig.
Good time.
But if we come out and if we come in and we sit around and we bash homosexuality or we bash this new way of life, we are the ones that become the problem. Women keep accepting this crap from these dudes.
Yep.
Just because you and
I'll say anything to each his own.
Even for real with that damn coat, that blanket.
What's up, Rick?
We gonna welcome her in. You know what I mean? We all just back at it. She walked into the middle of a good conversation.
Great conversation.
But the queen is in the
building. I'm getting comments that this is a great subject.
Yeah. So when we looking at Pharrell with this blanket
now
on.
I'm gonna say in the middle. I'm sorry, the men. The men are under attack, sweetheart.
We was okay with that. Y'all thought that was a nice coat?
What?
Pharrell with that yellow coat.
You know what? I didn't even care about the coat. If that's what you put on, that's what you put on. But when you put new masculinity, that's my issue.
That's my issue right there.
That's the issue.
Yeah,
and that's what changed. That's what changed the narrative of the whole situation. Yep. I wasn't a kid. I thought it was. First off, I'm not gonna buy a magazine. Let's just be honest. The magazine is not for me to buy.
It was GQ, right?
Yeah, but that's what I say. I'm not gonna buy the magazine. I'm just not.
Well,
so we wasn't
about magazines.
I don't know why you can pull them right up online.
Good.
But I guess they get it for a download. You know what I mean? But I knew I wasn't. I'm not gonna buy it, so he's not selling it to me.
Right.
So who is he selling it to? But women and that new.
The new masculinity.
the new kind of. I'm trying.
What you trying to figure out how you say it?
I had to pull it back, son.
You must have jam.
You know, the new man, I guess, that's out there that I can't sign on.
Yeah.
I just can't sign on to it. And the funny thing is, I shouldn't feel bad about that. I mean, I don't. I'm just gonna be honest. But women, a lot of women out here try to make us men feel bad for not buying into this crap.
Danielle says she accepts that an individual who they sleep with isn't my business unless I'm sleeping with them.
Exactly.
That's true.
Okay, let's
to a degree.
Let's take it to another step further.
Thank you.
I'm raising a son.
Thank you. Come on.
At 7 years old, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it was funny because every show that comes on now, brand new shows,
right, you
always look to find out who the gay character is.
There's always one.
Because there's got to be one. Mm-hmm. So it's this new show that's coming on. I don't know if we can. I'm gonna say the name of the show. I'll figure it out later. But Bluff City.
I don't know.
And so I was watching the show, and I'm like, oh, we might got one where it's not a couple, it's not nothing on it. And then they had an LGBT show just last week, I guess. And it's the old white lady that is, which was weird for me because I was like, huh. Now I know, I know they out there.
Yeah.
I know they out there. Huh? On the show, it's this old white lady who's the main character's best friend. They've been friends for 30 years. They just,
oh, wait a minute.
He didn't figure it out.
Hold up. You're on live with True Big Radio. How are you? And who are we talking to? Hello. Speak now or forever hold your peace. See you later.
All right, we'll try back again. Next. So this is the thing. And I'm like, every show that comes on television now, I don't know how many shows y'all watch or what y'all watch, what y'all favorite shows is. Mm-hmm. But there's always somebody on there that's, and okay, that's fine. But now it's when you're raising young kids, it's being sold to them so early. You know what I mean? And this is not like, well, your kids should be in bed. They should. And there used to be a time-sensitive matter. Right. Shows used to be, certain stuff wouldn't come on until a certain hour. Mm-hmm. You understand what I'm saying? But you have these shows now that are coming on, or they play reruns all the daggone time. Right. And so now you have to have these conversations with your kids way before you should. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So it forces your hand. And so that's why I'm looking at it like it's almost like their agenda is being forced.
If you call from a different number, so if you call from your phone, Mom said, I don't know, and I don't know what kind of phone you have. But I don't think you can do live and calling at the same time.
Oh, she was trying to whistle call?
Yeah, well, you definitely can call in, just jump back on live when you finish. Please. You know what I mean? We here.
Yeah.
Come on.
But that's where my issues come in. And I'm trying to, and then I feel like I got to be politically correct because I don't want to offend and I don't want to hurt nobody. But at some point, fuck them people.
Dang,
I got to protect mine more than I care about their feelings and shit. You know what I mean?
Okay, so let's roll with that.
Yeah, that's where I'm at.
Stay right where you at.
That's where I'm at.
Hold up. You gotta come. You lucky, boy. You lucky. Thank you for calling True Big Radio. You are on the air. Welcome. And who are you talking to? How are you? Who's this?
This is your cousin Marsha.
What's going on, guys?
I didn't know about this call and listen. Calling from Charlotte, North Carolina. This topic is very good, guys. Just had a question. And I was listening to the brother just before, and I do agree. I think a lot of the shows now back in the day, we didn't get to see sexuality at all. Whether it was gay or straight, I think it was too much for our kids.
Right.
I think it's too much. But what I want to know from the men, why did you think that you guys are being under attack? And I'm going to tell you why I asked you this question first. Because if you're straight, ain't nobody going to be able to attack you.
Well, attack. When you say attack, what do you mean by they can't attack you? Anyway, what does that mean?
No. I thought I heard that this my cousin say that black men are under attack. I just need a little bit more clarity on that, because maybe I misunderstood the quote. Because if you're straight, I don't care who's attacking you. You ain't gonna jump on that bag.
So are you saying? So when you say the word attack, are you saying a homosexual man forcing himself on me? What
No. She didn't say attack. Y'all said
we are under attack.
Men are under attack. That's what she's asking.
Right, but then she said I wouldn't jump on that thing. So what are you saying? Jump on that thing? I'm gonna take a ride, so you ain't that far. I know you know, but I'm gonna take a ride, babe.
I was being funny, but I just want to know, what do you mean? I mean, maybe it's something I'm missing as a female.
So this is what it is.
Why do you feel that the males are being attacked? Who's attacking you guys?
It's the way of life. It's society right now has adopted this
Europeans.
heterosexual European way of life where what is it called? Metrosexual or European way of life where everything has feminine undertones. And they are now
I'm saying overtones.
Overtones, yeah, it's not undertones.
But
They are promoting.
like for centuries. This isn't new.
It has not no.
Are you serious?
Back in Roman times, they were doing this. Just because we're now here,
Who was doing it?
Okay, Romans, but there were black people there as well.
Who
It
was
just
doing
was
it
never
though?
said that there were black
so what happened is,
or whoever else. They didn't identify the genders.
Let me ask you this
They
question.
didn't identify the race that was doing it. They said men.
Let me ask you this question.
Men.
Tell me one European male that is pushing this homosexual agenda through TV, radio, magazines, and video. Give me one. I'll wait.
I can't. Because I don't care.
Now watch this.
I'm sorry, I can't.
Now watch this. Give me a black one. Give me a black one.
I don't know.
You know what black
I don't know.
His name's free on record on the spot. Are you
I
serious?
will give two shakes of this. Listen, I ain't one man.
What you say, good?
I just got one more question.
What's that?
And again, I'm addressing that to Jay only because I heard you say it. Exactly how do you think that you guys are being attacked? Because if you are, I want to know about it too.
Because everything that a man represents is toxic. You didn't hear nothing about toxic prior to, and you're older than me, cuz, not to put you out there, but you're older than me, right? Oh, I'm being toxic again? Because I'm talking to a woman, huh? Because then you feel some kind of way. Oh my God. I didn't say her age. I said she's older than me, that's all. But she didn't hear the word toxic until how long? When did you hear the word toxic masculinity? Toxic masculinity. You heard that term when?
No, I really haven't. I need to do my homework. No, I haven't.
Yeah, I've never heard that either.
I really haven't.
Now, I believe her, I don't believe you.
I've never. How are you going to sit here and tell me what I have not heard?
Why are you smiling?
Because I haven't.
So you haven't heard
Toxic?
Yes.
No, I have not heard it put that way. No.
Hold on, she got one more question. Go ahead.
I just want to say one last thing and then I'm going to go. I really love your show. I'm telling you. But I'm just saying, and this is my belief, and maybe it's wrong. If you're not gay, another gay person cannot turn gay. They cannot make you think about it. Because if you think about it, it's already been in your thought process. And that's just how I feel. And maybe I'm totally wrong.
No, I agree with that.
No, I 100%.
I agree with you on that. 100%.
That's why that was a part of the issue when I said Tank's statement made no sense.
Absolutely.
And like when Dave led off with the conversation, he basically said, as soon as you thought about it, you was gay.
Yeah.
Because no straight man is gonna ever think about it. I don't even want to say it.
But see, it's just like it's equivalent to a man and a woman being in a relationship, and either man or woman is fantasizing about the other sex.
Yeah.
You're already cheated already in your mind. You just didn't do it physically, right? So how is that different from this situation?
And like you were saying, how and like you was trying to say, how you were saying.
This is my last question before I go.
You mind, but go ahead.
I swear to God, this will be it.
You can ask all you want. Come on, you good?
So you think if
think what they're doing is they're using black men in entertainment to discredit the men in the household and make it okay to live a life of such and such. I think now, there were times when people, they believe that you were born away. I think now some of these kids are being fed.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I think they're being and it's a
Persuaded.
persuaded on this lifestyle to make you feel okay. You know what I mean? That's even with the jail system. It all ties in. All of it ties in with the pants sagging and everything. It all ties in.
I understand now, and I love you guys, and I'm gonna go back and listen. And Cousin Ross, love you, baby.
Love you too, baby. Thanks for the call,
Thanks
baby.
for calling.
Hey,
Bye.
I'm taking a ride in North Carolina. We're gonna talk,
Well, I don't completely agree with that because why can't it just be the simple fact that this has been something that has been done undercover for years, and maybe they're tired of it being undercover, and they just want to live whatever's in their mind is a normal life to them.
Think about what David just asked you. So, but who are they using as their spokesperson? And that's the end. That's why we feel like we're under attack at this point, because it's been going on for ages.
Name one.
But who are they putting in front of the TV? Who are they putting in front of the screens to make people feel like it's okay to be this way? Do you think I should take my son to the girl side of the store and shop for him an outfit? But you got Tank, who's a star or something, saying, "Oh, that's where I buy my clothes from." What's that gay rapper that everybody keeps saying? The real skinny dude.
Nas X.
Oh no, not him. Yeah, he. Young Thug.
Yeah.
That dude gay. Yeah. So, but you got people like him that's out here wearing dresses on TV. How many?
But because he got a dress in the M16, he's masculine.
Yeah, but how many of your white singers we got? Paul McCartney being gay. What's his name?
Who?
What's the white boy that's been gay forever? John. Not
Eli?
Yeah. Singer. He just did the movie about.
A movie? Not George Michael. No, he did. Hold on. Thank you for calling True Radio. You are on the air. Who are we talking to?
Am I not the same person?
Hello?
Hello.
Here we go.
How you doing? How are you?
I'm good, how are you?
I'm doing fine. Who are we talking to?
Danielle?
Damn.
What's up, Danielle? What say you?
Okay, so I completely agree with the statement about the black men entertainment are being used to, I guess,
subconsciously
impose these perceptions onto our male children.
What was it?
But then I think a big part of this is as the single mother homes increase, so the emasculation of the males as well.
Okay, I got what you're saying.
To a whole other realm as well.
Say that again?
No, you're right though.
Say it again.
I believe that as single mother homes increase, the emasculation of the male also increase.
Absolutely.
I agree with that 100%.
I made a comment on that. I'm a single mother raising, my son's 11 years old. And you mentioned the toxic masculinity. Yes, I believe in gender roles. There are things that he's supposed to do. I shouldn't be touching garbage.
Absolutely.
I'll do it if I have to, but I shouldn't. I have a capable-bodied male in the house.
Right.
I shouldn't have to. So, taking the toxic masculinity as they're calling it, I disagree with that statement.
Yep.
And then on top of that, there's the emasculation part that's taking place being in single households.
Mm-hmm.
You have these boys who are constantly around women all of the time then, without male influence.
Mm-hmm.
You then have these little boys sitting in the beauty salon all day with their mothers.
Yep.
You have mom going out shopping for her outfit for the club this weekend, so he's forced to go sit in the women's department while she shops.
And there you
all of these different things are increasing, I personally believe, the homosexuality of the other.
So can you also, because I know you are a teacher, can you also allude to the fact of when you're home and you're with mom, you're with grandma, you're with the aunts, and there's nothing but that estrogen in the air in the house, and then your said son goes to school, how many men teachers are there, one, and how many black men teachers are there?
The elementary school that I work in right now, there are 0 black men in the building, period. And there are 3, one, two, three, including the PE teacher, there are 4 males in the building. One of them is African, but he identifies. He's actually from Morocco, and he made a point of saying he was from Morocco, where African and European cultures mix. Therefore, we already knew when I read that, and I heard that, I already knew he wasn't connected. He was connected more with European.
You sound like the both from John family.
There's no black males at all.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The closest thing to a black male we have is an Italian guy that grew up in the Bronx.
So what is your percentage rate on those that would lean, as Malik Yoba say, lean in more to the feminine side? Because there is no masculinity in that, toxic or not. There is no masculinity in that building. So he goes home from. I said, what is the percentage of the guys or the young boys in your school that lean more to the feminine aspect versus the masculine, because there is none in your building? They leave home from estrogen, they go to school with estrogen. If they are getting social services, 9 times out of 10, it's a woman. No?
With the percentages, I don't know. I don't know the percentage of that. And I'm gonna try to answer you the best I can.
Yeah, just
I did hear you say.
You can guesstimate.
I know a second grader. From the first day of school, there's a second grade boy that comes into school with his nails polished. He's not a black kid. He's a white kid.
Well, so whoa, stop right there. When you say polished, what you mean? Because I have it on clear. What you speaking of?
I didn't hear you.
What color are you speaking of? Because I have on clear polish on my nails. So what are we speaking of?
It's not clear. No.
Okay. All right. I'm just asking. I just need clarity.
It's colored nail polish.
Okay. Like black, colorful, or what?
Everyone brushes it off as he's quirky. Now there are no African American males that I interact with,
right,
in terms of the students that I encounter that I would say, I think this kid might end up being gay when he gets older. I have not encountered any like that. My interaction more so has been because there are students that are being put on, like, and I said put on me. I don't even service them in a special ed arena, but there are students who was like, if you keep it up, because there's apparently something that I'm giving off that these boys need. So it ends up being me in a classroom with 2 or 3 kids, 2 or 3 boys, that the teachers got frustrated with because they're acting like boys.
So do those teachers ask you, or consider you, I should say, do they consider you a strong black woman? Is that why the kids with disciplinary actions are coming towards you? Or being sent to you?
I think some of them do, and I think some of them see me as a threat also.
You are a threat. You are, because you're a black woman with some knowledge, with some thought about yourself, and you don't bite your tongue. So you are a threat. Absolutely.
So I just wanted to give my input on the whole toxic masculinity part and where I believe that emasculation and things of that nature are coming from. I'm not going to even go back to the beginning with the homosexuality is just created from a thought in your head. I'm not going to even go to any of that. But I just think that this is why I'm starting this organization, is that help the mothers with not imposing some of this stuff on the young boys. And that's one of the topics for next week, Jackson, when I have this first event.
Yeah, I want to hear how that goes.
Yeah.
Definitely.
One of the things that you said that stands out to me is being able to, as a mother, identify some of the faults of women. Because a lot of women don't see their roles in what's happening. And that's what I was trying to say to Dawn earlier. Like, and I'm not saying y'all, I'm just saying women are making this okay. A lot of women, y'all, you was the only one in here at the time, so that's what you was the only one I could
And be clear, we all know that there's not 100% in anything, so we don't have to stipulate most, some. We ain't got to do all that. We grown. Come on now, we ain't playing that game, huh? Hello.
Let's flip it around and we said, you like, who you talking about?
Who talking about? Watch this. I know what I represent. So I ain't right about that. I'm good.
Yeah, that's why I said, listen, I'm not gonna always say the right thing because the politically correct don't really work for me. You know what I mean? I get stuck sometimes.
Don't go away, Daniel. Don't go away.
I get stuck sometimes, but I always will go back to a broken mom will do more damage to a child than an absent father.
Now watch this. I'm glad you said that because Danielle posted that earlier today. Did you hear what he said, Danielle?
I'm here.
Touche said a toxic mom does more damage than absentee father.
It's not.
I just posted that.
I said that. So what's your thought on that?
I did.
And your thought is what? Because I don't know if you saw where I said I disagree, but what is your thoughts on that? Hello? Danielle?
Okay.
Hello?
All right. So.
Okay. Go ahead.
Okay. So. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. So. I feel like I don't walk around with my son and talk bad about his father around him, to him, any of that stuff.
Right.
And I think with a toxic mother, I'm sorry, I can hear you on another device. Anyway, so I
She's multitasking.
walking around wallowing in my self-pity and talking bad about his father and, oh damn, you're just like your father. I see your father in your face every time I see you. That man can be completely absent, but I'm doing more damage because of what I'm now feeding his mind, because of how I'm now acting. If I had men running through in and out my door constantly,
Yes.
that's making me toxic to the young man that I'm raising.
Right.
So whereas his father being absent is detrimental.
Yes.
That is detrimental.
Mm-hmm.
But him not being in the picture is not adding on top of that.
Absolutely.
The negative part on top of that. So if he was absent and on him being absent and me adding the negativity and the toxic, that's making it even worse for this young man or girl. But if the father is absent, or the parent, I'm not going to say father, if the parent absent, and that other parent is doing everything they can, and they're trying, and they're working with them, and they're teaching, and there's all of this stuff.
Mm-hmm. I totally agree.
I feel like when you're adding the negativity, it just has more of an impact, in my personal opinion.
Yep.
My father was in and out the picture himself.
Right.
But my mother wasn't toxic. You know, when it came down to events, my mom would be married. My father, my stepfather, everybody was in that house celebrating together.
Okay.
She didn't talk about my father in front of us. No matter how she felt.
Right.
I don't do that with my son now. Now him and his girlfriend talk about me when he's with them.
And you know that how?
Okay, well, I called just a few weeks ago.
Okay.
I called my son on the phone. I called him on the phone, and let me back up. I got a text message from his father. I called my son regarding the text message I received. I hear her in the background. They were doing all crazy. He left my son with the woman. Our son, let me rephrase that, our son.
Thank you, because I was going to read something.
I got a text message. I called my son regarding the message. I hear her in the background talking to my soon-to-be husband about me, and my child was sitting right there.
Right.
My son told me today, Mom, I just realized something. I recognize the rugs that are in Miss Rachel's house.
Wow.
You know, so there's just different things that I only know. She threw away sneakers that I purchased and said I bought him trash. This is what he repeated to me that he heard them say.
Wow.
But I don't bear not the father at all. I was sitting in the car today, we went to the movies, we were in the car driving home, and a song came on, and I started laughing, and he said, "What's so funny?" I said, "You know something? When me and your father used to go out, we would dance." I said, if this song would come on, and people that knew us would say, "Hey, why aren't you guys dancing? You always dance to the song." And I told him, I'm gonna always share those moments with you because you should have those memories too, right, to carry on with you, regardless of where me and his father are right now.
Absolutely. Nick, can I ask you a question?
Sure.
What do you think the impact on your son is or can be when he's visiting or from what it sounds like staying at this lady's house while she's bad mouthing you, but your rugs are in her home, and he knows that these are my mom's rugs, but you're talking about my mom, and the father probably didn't say that they came from our home. He made it appear as these are rugs that I brought into the situation, not knowing, but she don't know where they come from. And your son is, you said 12, right? How old you say your son was?
Okay. I think as an 11-year-old boy, he's like, you know something? This woman buys me stuff. She's nice to me when I'm there. Oh well, I'm gonna deal with it. But over time,
yes,
I think he really will see his father and this woman for what they are.
Absolutely.
He'll make his own decision. He is very protective of me. There's gonna come a point where he's going to speak up, I'm sure.
Yep.
Right. That whole protector instinct that males are born with, he has it. Mm-hmm. He witnessed a medical emergency with me over the summer. It has heightened that, where I'm trying to also put a kind of a pin in it so it's not too overly like a mama's boy, if that makes any sense. But I think the impact on him with that situation visiting his father, he's going to probably make decisions to want to spend less time with his father at his own peril. Yeah, he's going to eventually, I believe, speak up and say something.
Right.
You know, he had the option a few months ago to go to his father for a whole week or to go for a couple of days. Well, if he went the whole week, most of the time he would be left with this woman. He didn't want to stay for the whole week.
Wow.
I gave him that choice.
Sure.
There's no custody, there's nothing in the courts for custody or anything else. I gave my child that choice because if he doesn't want to be with this woman all that time, I'm going to respect that.
Right.
You know, so eventually he's going to speak up about it. He told me something today. He said, Dad said him and Miss Rachel were friends when they were younger. And I said, oh, okay, really? That's cool. I'm glad you can be someone he's friends with. Because at the end of the day, I'm going to still try to instill in him positive relationships.
Mm-hmm.
Still being respectful to adults, but being able to speak your mind. So all I can do is make sure before he leaves me, while he's gone, and when he comes back, that he knows without a shadow of a doubt that this woman right here puts him first and foremost.
That's right.
And loves him beyond reasonable doubt. And I remind him that his father loved him. It's up his father to now act like he didn't show it.
Can you imagine the conversations that are being had while she's on the phone and he's in earshot? If she says things to him in front of his face, can you imagine what she says on the phone that he can hear? Or the conversations that her and your soon-to-be ex has, and he's in earshot, and you are on topic. You know what I mean?
Exactly. She won't come. He will not. The father will not come to meet me to exchange our son without her with him. You know, so we can't even discuss things concerning my child, and I don't want them at all.
Right.
But you know, I know if he's not, if my sincere husband's not around, I can only imagine the conversation she's having with her friends and family.
Right.
Regarding me. And I should be the least of her work, really. You know, but I think part of what I'm doing is trying to head off some of this stuff, trying to help build up the single mom so we can do the best we can for our son.
And you know the
so
sad.
We can stop acting like these bitter and broken women and withholding our children from their fathers and being petty and all of that stuff. This is what I'm trying to do.
Right. And you would
think it impacts boys, it impacts children.
Absolutely. You would think that even when, and this is off topic, but it's related. Even when women complain about men and what men do, 9 times out of 10, the man or men is doing something because another woman allowed it. So even in your situation, I don't see how you can be a threat to her if you're coming and you're arriving by yourself with your child because you're just doing the exchange. But he has to make sure that you are with him to give the impression that he is not alone. You understand what I'm saying?
It's not always that. It depends on what he's saying to her, giving her the impression that she's probably causing trouble or she's.
That's what he told her.
It's whatever he's implementing into her mind, and she's thinking that. Now she's ignorant to the sense of she didn't. So being adults, being women.
Right.
I don't know if this lady has children of her own, but if she does, as women, she should have came to you as a woman and sat down and had a conversation with you. Because if she's going to help parent your child, that conversation needs to be done, whether it's now, sooner, or later.
Can you hear her, Danielle?
Everything's delayed a little bit. I just heard something being said about whether or not the girlfriend has children of her own. She has grown kids.
What she said was,
anything after that.
She said, go ahead, say it again.
So regardless whether she has grown children or not, she's a mother. And in the sense of you being a mother and a woman, there's still a responsibility that she should have and own up to coming to you as a mother and having a conversation with you about your child. Because she's going to play a part in your child's life. Hopefully, positively, not in a negative sense. Right now, it's negative. With that being said, she's not being an adult right now. That's the best way I'm going to put it. Because if you were, the best interest is not about the ex-husband, the dad, the new boyfriend, not about you, mom. The best interest is the child. And what are we as adults going to do to make this the smoothest, best process for the child to be able to work?
And that's why I say, even though he may be planting seeds in her mind, right? I need you to come with me because she's violent, she this, she that. I need a witness.
She can change that on her own by having a simple conversation.
She can, but in my personal opinion, you know why? Because in my personal opinion, he's coming out of a relationship. He don't want to appear alone, so come with me. But at the same time, she as a woman, I got your man, ha ha he.
Probably so.
And not checking for the betterment of the child.
Even if it's not that to say she's feeling like I got your man, she may honestly have doubt and insecurities in her own mind as to, because if I'm not mistaken, your divorce is not final, right?
I'm gonna take it from there because
your divorce is not final, and if that's not being said, that could be playing in her mind, thinking, because she don't know how unpredictable he may be either. And if that's the case, he could easily leave her and bounce to someone else. She don't know that.
Hold up. Go ahead, Danielle. Yes.
So part of this, and I can address some of this. She does feel threatened by me. We are still married.
Mm-hmm.
We are still married. So coming to me as a woman to have a conversation, my personal opinion is there's no conversation to be had. You were sleeping with my husband before he left. He moved into your house with you when he left us.
Jeez.
There's no conversation to be had right now, in my personal opinion, until people are ready to put the cards on the table and have a mature conversation, which that's not the case.
But all of it is because of that, it's all tied.
I don't have anything to discuss. If she's calling me or texting me regarding personal business that me and my husband have with each other.
That's crazy.
So she can't. Well, if he give her that control, then that's why she's acting that way.
I'll tell y'all what y'all missing. Go ahead. One of the things y'all missing in this whole situation is he said that they were friends growing up.
Mm-hmm.
That means their history is longer.
Yeah.
Right?
Then
But he still did not pick her first. So in the back of her mind,
I'm not buying
hold on, listen. Go ahead. In the back of her mind, she will always be second.
Back of who mind?
She's never going to be
to the other one. She'll never be.
We don't know if he said that to him in her presence.
But understand something. If they had history, right? If they had history from their childhood, right?
I'm not buying that though.
Listen, hold on. Let's just
go ahead.
If they had history from their childhood, and whatever they went through, it didn't work out in their childhood, he decided to marry Danielle, right? When he chose Danielle, he ultimately chose Danielle over everybody that he's ever been with before. She then shows back up, including her. If in her mind she always wanted to be where she is now, she will never let go of those insecurities of being not the chosen one. And that's something that she will always hold on to. So that's something that's defeating her too. So most of the issues are her own insecurities because she was not picked first. There, no matter how much
it's not even a matter of where it goes. It could be simply because she wasn't the wife.
Yeah.
Because it's the title. Sometimes it's what gets a lot of females. And it may not even be the wife. It may be she might not have a child by him. So a lot of those things could be playing into her mind as to why she's being the way she's being. But it still should not. And mom, I get you, and I get. She's wrong. She's disrespectful. She stepped into your lane. I get that. But your baby is still caught up in all of y'all adult stuff. True. And being that somebody has to be the bigger person to say, because we have this child in the midst of that, we're going to get to our messy adult stuff. But let us get to an even place where we're communicating for our child, for the child. You can cuss and damn each other on the phone later, but it should never be done in the presence of the child. It shouldn't be done around the child where the child can hear or anything like that. Because this is going to be something that whether he stays with her or deals with anyone else, your child is going to forever remember all of this.
Yeah.
And as mom and as dad, as a parent,
I've been the one that maintains the maturity and the decorum and everything else. In the meantime, like I said, I don't down talk either one of them around my son. I may call friends when my son is with them. And of course I'm gonna let go and talk to my friends or whatever. And things of that nature. But I just don't believe right now there's a conversation to be had, in my personal opinion, right now. Not with her. Now with him, yes, there's a lot to be had, but that maturity of a dialogue from him, because of the pressure he's getting from her, is unable to be had until we take this to the courtroom.
I think she has the power that she has, in my opinion, because of the both of you as his parents. One, you need to have a conversation with her. You don't want to have it. She's running around here in her mind thinking she's running something or she got this. Because as women, you got to put her in her place. It's time to put her in her place. He has to stop having her think she's running something. She's not his mother. Now she can come and help as his partner with the understanding of his mother. Because mom still has a lot of say. Because you're his mother. So you guys got to get on some better, and I'm not judging because I've been exactly where you are, trust me. But somewhere along the lines, y'all gonna have to get to a better common ground, and it's for your child's sake. Because these conversations behind closed doors can't keep happening for them to hear. That's not okay. They may go tell their friends, well, I heard this when I was with my dad, and it was about my mom, and you got to look at what is that doing to their self-esteem. That's not good. And this is my opinion. I'm pro kid. I'm all about kid.
Absolutely. I think it's a detriment to him though, like as you said, because even going back to what Touche said about the insecurities.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think he told. How old is your son, Daniel? How old is your son?
He's 11.
Okay. So my 11-year-old, we move into this woman's house, and of course he's like, "Well, Daddy, who's this? How long you been here? How long you her?" First thing he going to say is, "Oh, that's my old friend from back in the day," because of the way things are. You know what I mean? I truly don't think that there was no relationship prior to. Now, they probably doing something while he was married, yes, but long time friends, negative. I'm not buying that. Kissing cousins. But at the end of the day, it is a situation that's detrimental to only the child. Only the child get hurt.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Only the child.
And you don't want him to grow up thinking that the way his dad did things was okay to do either.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not okay whether it's dad, and it wouldn't be okay whether it was you as a parent. It's never okay when parents do things like that and implement it on the child for them to have to figure out, well, damn. It's not okay.
Yeah. I mean, it's a lot that's going on right now within the situation, and you have to stay the course that you're staying, but his father has to get in a better place because a lot of what's going on, that's the male figure in his life, and so a lot of what he's showing is what your son's going to pick up.
Yeah.
He'll have your core values and things like that, but he'll emulate a lot of what his father's showing him right now before he ever gets back to your core beliefs.
Yeah.
And that's what we don't understand. Like, your mother always instills these little tidbits in you throughout your life that you come back to as you get older. You see more and more. I'm like, oh, God dang, now I understand.
Yeah.
But the things that your father showed you, even if he is just in and out, those are the things that you kind of hold on to first. Those are the things that kind of get you through your teenage years, and you try to figure them out that way. It's not until you get into your adulthood and you really start trying to raise a family yourself that you really sit back and realize what your mother was telling you was right the whole time. You know what I mean? So that's the part that I'm worried about. The impression that his father right now is putting on him, especially with allowing her to speak ill of his mother. You should never allow anybody to speak ill, no matter how you feel.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Because there's going to be days where I speak ill about my kid's mother, but I be damned if you do. You know what I mean? And that's how it's supposed to be. And especially in front of the child. You know what I mean? That's a whole nother thing. Because a mother's and a son's bond is different. You know what I mean? So yeah, I got big issues with him.
But that goes to the initial question of toxic mother and absentee father, and related to what you just said, because as you said, a boy he's gonna grasp what the father said 1st.
Mm-hmm.
If he's absent and the mother's doing everything she can for toxic or not, everything for said child, when he come around with a pair of tennis shoes, that is God to him.
Yep.
Because he's trying to grasp exactly what you said.
Yeah,
he need that. He's fiending for that. You know what I mean? And lacking at the same time.
Yeah, man. And I was telling somebody something. A child, you know, because mothers struggle with this.
Mm-hmm.
No matter how bad the father is, whenever he show up, whatever he do is the greatest thing that ever happened. And mothers never understand that. And children will always want what they can't have more than what they do every day. And I think it's sad because, you know, mothers put so much work in to provide for their kids. And a lot of times it is more work than the dads can ever do. And it's a lot of dads that never will understand that.
Right.
But those children always want from who they can't have.
Right.
You know what I mean? And that's why it means that much more to them. So it's like a gift and a curse.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Because the thing about a mother is, in most instances, the mother's always there. You know what I mean? The father can. He can pick up, he can leave, he can walk away, he can do whatever he want to do.
Well, she gonna get social service.
Yeah, I could do that with my son, and I remember because I let my son go live with his dad when he was 16.
Yeah.
And it's the hardest decision that I had to make because I figured he wasn't listening. I was having issues with him in school. I had like positive role models that was helping him, and he just started doing something different. And he kept thinking that because his dad had a girlfriend and had kids there, he was missing something. So he needed to be there. So I felt like I need to let him see what the grass is like on the other side. And I did. And as a mother, I still parented from my house and his dad's house. I still physically and mentally and financially took care of my son from my house and his dad's house. And he didn't know until he was out of high school that I was doing that. He thought that his dad was still helping me. He didn't know it until the year before he turned, like 6 months before he turned 18, when his dad decided to take me for child support. Now, mind you, I was giving him money every month anyway, and still doing and buying everything for my son, so he didn't need to do anything. And when we had to go to court, that's when my son found out, and my son couldn't understand, why were you doing this to my mother when my mother takes care of me? You just housed me. He didn't even have to buy food for my son because every time I went to the market and bought my son food because I knew what he liked and sent it home. He didn't have to buy toiletries or anything like that because I did those things like it was still my house, and I would do it for my house and his dad's house and send it home. So my son said, why didn't you tell me these things? Because you were a child, and these aren't conversations that I was willing to have with you as a child. I needed you to see it for yourself. Because I felt like had I tried to tell you and talk to you, the more I would have did it, the more you would have pushed me away. So I needed you to see for yourself.
Salute to you.
That's hard.
I bet.
Broke all the time.
It is. You know what I mean? Financially or emotionally, you know what I mean? Mentally,
it was hard to do for him, and then see him so excited, like you said, about what his dad was doing, but his dad wasn't doing it.
And she did it without social care.
No. Oh, no, girl.
She's alive! Well, Amina.
I just repeated what he just said about women and social care.
So all of you touch something, so speak on that. What you mean?
You said it. I repeated what you said.
So are you saying to me that
She did all of that without being on social
are
care.
you saying to me that there are more men on social services for their kids than women? What are you saying?
Now in this day and age, there's
Negative.
check
I see it every day. I see it every day.
Check it.
Every day, my friend.
Go run them stats.
I sure will. You come out and lose it.
Okay.
You know what I mean? This is you got your
It's going to be next week. I want to see this.
I got you. No problem. I'm going fast out. Make sure you be here.
It's too many. Okay. And if I'm not, you still can post.
Negative.
Whatever.
I ain't gonna do it.
It's still too many men on social service. Run them steps.
Ho, it's too many men on
Yeah,
social
since you want to put
They
it,
not supposed to be?
you just said
They're not supposed to be?
women
They're not
on
supposed
social
to be.
service.
Yes. When the man don't keep taking care of a child, he goes to prison. When a woman don't, she gets social services. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I didn't deny that. You're the one who said that.
So why are you commenting on that if it's not free?
Because I'm saying she did all that without being on social service.
That's one woman.
No, it's more than one.
That's one.
Run them steps.
1 out of 10?
Run them steps.
Please.
1 out of 10.
Yes. Let's say, when you wake up when you want to.
He said 1 out of 10.
Back in the range.
1 out of 10. 1 out of 10.
Yeah. That's what I said.
Y'all crazy.
You back at it, man. Ain't nothing changed.
Nothing. This one was being missed. This right here.
Yeah, man.
All of that. All of it. But no, you know, it's sad though, but we tend to stand in these places where it's so much that can change.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's so much that can be given. Mm-hmm. But I think a lot of us need to take the opportunity and realize that the most important people in all of these situations are the children.
Yeah,
because the people that get hurt the most are the children.
Yeah.
The people that, you know, lose out the most are the children. You know what I mean? We tend to worry so much about ourselves at times
Right.
that we lose track of the amount of harm or damage that's being done to these kids.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And I know it's hard, you know, especially, you know, when you have infidelity and things like that that's going on, and people emotions that, you know, they tied to it. Mm-hmm. You know, so it's hard to sometimes step back outside of yourself and it's hard to step back outside of yourself and focus on the child when you're so hurt. You know what I mean? Because a lot of times people don't understand when them emotions kick in and they take over. Whatever happens sometimes. You know what I mean? And we all tend to try to say we'll always do what's best for our kids, but a lot of times we do what's best for us.
Yeah.
In spite of the children.
I was talking to a friend of mine who went through divorce, and she was so heartbroken because her son became dibbling and dabble with narcotics.
Okay.
Right? To addiction. And her thing was like, what's going on? Why did that happen? How did it happen? He was like, Ma, I was trying to talk to you, but you was in your own world. This is what he said. You was in your own world. You was doing your own thing. And you 21 now. You was in your own world doing your own thing. I was trying to talk to you, but you wasn't here. You know what I mean? Because even as an adult, like you said, you done went through your whole situation, raising kids, but you still neglected the fact of this young man is growing into a man and dealing with life situations. And when the father is not there or present, she got to carry that. Yeah. But she just said, well, I'm going to go ahead and do me, and the chips fall where they lay. So now he got to be rehabilitating all that good stuff and get their connection back where it used to be. But for a time, she was out there dibbling down, you know?
Yeah. And, you know, I think as adults, a lot of times we tend to lose our way and not know what harm is doing. We think we're healing ourselves after the hurt that we've gone through, and we forget about the kids and how they're seeing it or how they're taking on the same hurt. You know what I mean? Because then we become toxic.
Yeah.
We become a lot of what we try to protect them from when we've been hurt. Or when the relationship kind of fizzles out, you know what I mean, or stuff like that. You know, especially if you built this relationship with your family, you got this picture in your head that it's supposed to be a certain way. When that tends to not work, a lot of people lose their way. And the only people that, once again, that, you know, that suffers through that are the kids. And then when we look at them, like, well, why aren't you listening? What's changing? We don't realize how much we've changed. And that's why they're changing. You know what I mean? They just kind of adopt our habits.
Melissa says, when you're in your feelings, you don't see the damage that you do.
That's the truth. That's the truth. That's exactly what I was saying. And that's in so many cases, you know. Yeah. And that goes for both men and women. We're not going to just drop that on y'all this time. You know,
even if somebody feel like they get beat up on over there, you know what I mean?
That's not y'all.
Whoever's fault. When you throw a rock over the wall, the daughter get hit when it yells.
You know what I mean? That's just one of those things where it happens, man.
Right.
Men, women.
I'm telling you, man, it's a rough situation.
Yeah, can't live with them, can't live without.
What?
Look. So let's say you. How you doing?
I'm good.
No, that's right. Welcome back.
So what we got left? We got one more.
Oh, we got to talk about your girl, man.
Who?
Harriet.
So let me ask first. Has anybody in here seen Harriet?
I'm not seeing the movie. Don't.
We're not spoiling the movie. The conversation that we're about to have is going to be a debate.
You gonna say what about that before you say that?
Uh-huh.
She said to you, don't spoil the movie. It's a European picture.
Yeah, I haven't seen it.
We're spoiling the movie? Continue, please.
Yeah, go ahead. That's the argument. Listen, that's the argument. Reed, have you seen the movie? Are you planning on seeing the movie?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, so the debate is, should we or should we not support the film? The film is about Harriet Tubman, right? It's also, the actor in it is European.
Yeah.
But she's black, right?
European black, yeah.
She's a European, she's a black, hold on, come on. She's a black European woman that has had she's had statements that are not so favoring of the black community.
Yeah.
Like she's talked down on the black community as a European black woman, right? They still identify her. And so there are people on one side of the argument that say, I'm not going to support her because of her previous statements about black people. But you're willing to portray who is looked upon as a hero to a lot of those same black people that you've downgraded or you've degraded, right? Then we have another one where the picture is being made by Europeans, right?
So we already know that there are characters in that movie that never existed.
Yes.
But we're going to see it anyway.
No, you're going to see it.
Okay, well, I'm going to see it anyway.
You're right.
You know what I'm saying?
Negative.
Because I want to see it.
Yeah.
Okay.
You already know that from the previews, where her best friend come from. We didn't hear about her. I don't remember that part. I don't remember nobody talking about her. Just like the black villain bounty hunter man, whoever he's supposed to be. Did I tell you don't spoil this movie?
Yeah,
But it's the preview.
He's the preview.
It is a preview. Yeah.
You ain't watch the trailer.
But
No,
I don't want to watch nothing until I
It's
see
just
the movie.
no. It's just if you look at the previews, if you look at the previews, you see these people. You know what I mean? Just looking at the previews, you see these people. But still, it's just like
So
we know that these people don't exist.
Are you supporting
Y'all,
it?
so y'all telling me y'all ain't see the color purple?
Yeah, but I ain't have a choice.
Why you didn't have a choice?
It was a kid.
I was a child.
Yo, come on.
It was a kid.
It's like you ain't had to watch Glory, but your ass is watched it anyway.
Are you serious? I
I'm
was in
dead
school.
serious. Come on.
Where did you see Gloria?
Yeah, I seen it in school. But
Exactly.
no.
You didn't have a choice.
We did. We didn't have to go to the auditorium to see it. They gave us an opportunity to see that.
I don't remember having no
Well,
opportunity.
first of all, watch this.
We had an opportunity.
You talking about a child's mind versus
No,
a
I
grown-up
even-
mind.
even-
Are you serious?
Even with Color Purple. What school were you in that they showed Color Purple?
My mama. What are you talking about? I was home.
So you didn't have a
I didn't have a choice for that either.
I had a choice.
I had a
My mama got big hands. What are you talking
I
about?
had a choice. I seen the movie and read the book.
Yeah, I definitely didn't read the book.
And okay, so even with that movie, if you've seen that movie and reading the book, it already started in the middle of the book.
So let me ask you this: how do you correlate the color purple to?
I'm saying you already know, looking at those previews of Harriet, some of that stuff is already made up. I want to see because it's like, yo, y'all making up people in this movie that I don't know nothing about. I want to see what's going on because I want to. That's what
And that's why we say
I'm a very inquisitive
women
person.
allow things.
How about this?
I
How about
want to see what their
How about by bootleg?
falsification of truth is.
Right.
That's honestly why
I'm a very inquisitive.
I know they're gonna be lies and all of that. I know they're gonna
So,
manipulate it.
Instead of subpoena.
I just want to see
What do you think would be different
how
from underground?
bad it's going to be.
Right.
All right, listen, man.
You
Like
want
how bad
see,
it's gonna mess our history up.
she say
You
so
want
you're going to
support
take your
I'm
hard
not
earned
saying
money.
that I want to support them. It's not.
So let me
You're going
ask
to take your hard earned money to see how bad they desecrate us. Are
Did you
serious?
hear? Did you see Underground?
No, I have not. No.
The color purple displayed black families with homes, acres. You hear what I'm saying? You know why? Because she don't hear me anyway.
How can I not? How can I
They had acres. You feel me? So to compare Harriet Tubman.
It wasn't a comparison. I asked you about seeing it.
You compared it.
No, I said, did you see it? You said you didn't have a
In
choice.
comparison to
No. I asked you, did you,
Tubman.
okay. I asked you, did you see it? You said you didn't have a choice. Whereas with Harriet, you
Ask
have
the
a
question.
choice.
Different than seeing color purple or blue.
Right.
I was a child.
Okay.
I'm 43 now. It's a big difference.
Okay.
It's a big difference.
Well, you
So
choose
color
not to
purple
see it,
came
you
on
choose not to
TV
see it.
today tomorrow you will watch it.
I don't even watch TV. I use my fire stick. I choose what I want to watch.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. How about y'all? How about y'all do that?
Exactly.
How about y'all buy?
We was going to the movie.
How about y'all buy
to see it. We said
bootleg
we
instead of
wanted to
supporting?
see it.
Since you want
Who
to see
said
it.
I was going to the movie? All I said was don't spoil the movie for me.
It's already been spoiled.
First of all, I've been blocking myself. It's like that Power thing. You know, when people start watching Power and then they want to hurry up and get the Facebook and start talking about, I block all that. Don't tell me about nothing. Let me find out on my own. And I know people are going to talk about it, but let me play catch up after the fact.
Can I listen to something yet? The Lone Ranger is coming out next year.
Mm-hmm.
You know what the Lone Ranger is about?
I don't give a damn because I'm not going to see them because I don't care. This about me. I'm going to
You know why?
see what I'm interested in.
Women.
Be it, no.
It always comes back like a boomerang, son.
No.
Pun intended.
I go to what I'm interested in, regardless as to whether it's about women, men, politics, history.
You go where?
I go
To move.
whether it's the movies, whether it's look it up on the internet. For me, it's about what the information I want to know.
Mm-hmm.
It's furthering my education for me. I don't follow the monotony. Just because you went to the movie to see it, don't mean I'm gonna go sit in the movie to see it. It just doesn't mean that for me. I never once said I was gonna spend my hard-earned money to go watch this movie. I just said don't spoil it for me.
That's why we broke as a society.
Yep.
Who I ain't broke because I ain't spending that one penny.
I'm not talking about financially. I'm not talking about financially.
You mean we not working together?
Yes.
Yeah.
This is the problem right here, men and women.
Was
right
we
here.
working together when you decided you wanted to watch this movie? Because we all could have power out and had
I
popcorn
didn't
and
watch
watch
the
it together so we could
I
talk
did not
about
watch
it for the show.
I'm not watching the movie. I'm not interested in watching the movie. I'm not. And this is the thing. We continue to. You're not going to tell me there has not been a black director. There has not been a black anybody that has tried to bring these movies to the forefront and they get shut down. Mm-hmm. It wasn't until movies like, because when the Black Panther, I have a friend that they started working on a Black Panther movie maybe 5 or 6 years ago, trying to get it out there when Marvel was doing everything. And they kept getting shot down. It's not until now that they see that the Black Panther moved the black dollar in this way. Now they want to put all these movies in the forefront and they want to put them out there for us. So once again, we're letting the European
And the white man was a hero of that.
Yeah, we a European man. Once again, the European man control our dollars. Once again, we're giving it to him. We're letting him basically lead us to the water they want us to drink. And that's my problem. We keep allowing, because you're not going to tell me there have not been people out here before that wanted to do the same kind of movies that would not get the backing or would not, get honored. Or we had, if you follow the Sundance Film Festival, we've had movie after movie after movie that people have tried to bring out that they will not support. But then a European director or somebody out here will go and write that same script, that same movie, take that same idea and make millions of dollars off of us just because.
Yeah.
And we run to it every single time, and we fall into it every single time.
And they said, well, if you supported Black Panther, you need to go see Harriet. Black Panther was a fictional movie. It wasn't real.
And Wakanda does not exist.
Come on, man.
But people getting it tattooed on their own. But that's where my problem coming at. Once again, we have an opportunity to stand for something, and even in this room, you see the separation. And the funny thing is, we, as the men in the room, we can't even persuade the women to not do it.
You can if your name was Tashina.
Who's that?
That's something from earlier.
Yeah.
But that's where we are. That's the state of the world right now.
Right now.
I'll be there. I'm telling the truth.
Because right now, you are going to support something.
All you had to do.
And you know they telling it's a fictional story at this point.
All you had to do for me is say, listen, this is how I feel about it.
That's what I'm telling you.
If, as your friend, I'd be like, how about we take a stand and not go see this movie? I probably would tell you, okay, touche, I follow that. But you ain't come at me like that. You came at me with these shenanigans.
I haven't said not one thing that was a shenanigan. All I spoke from was my truth.
What's that?
That's all I gave you was facts and numbers. That's all I gave you. Now, David had shenanigans, so if you can say that about David, I'd be like, I feel where you're coming from.
He always got shenanigans.
My shenanigans always come to the light. It always.
All I did was brought it to you the way I know. If you follow the Sundance Film Festival, most of us take our movies, we go over there and they shoot us down or they big us up. Just like what was the guy that got the rape charges brought out against him that he was found innocent for? The black guy that did the movie.
Nat Turner.
This was the greatest thing they seen at the Sundance Film Festival. Everybody.
It was Nat Turner movie. What was his name?
What was his name though? I
can't think of his name.
I can't think of his name. But
his remember the European made Harriet Tubman.
What you say?
But look at it. Look how that movie got all those ratings at the Sundance. Everybody wanted to pick it up. He signed a contract right there for millions of dollars.
But what is his name?
I don't remember. I can't.
That's what you should remember. That's the
I should, but what I can tell you is you remember the incident.
That's the important part? No, the important part is in that movie, when the little boy walked into the store with his mother. When Nat Turner was a little boy, because his name don't matter. The message in the movie was when he walked in the store, in this 2.5-hour movie, right?
That's not
he walked into the
he jumped on us for going to see a movie because Europeans made the movie, reenacted this event in life, in history. This is what y'all two just jumped on us about. So then you want to use an example of another movie, but this time you're talking about this black gentleman. But you can't even remember his name.
Let me ask you a question. Besides Denzel, who you remember from Glory?
Nobody.
Who's the writer?
To be honest, I've never watched Glory.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm just asking you a question. I'm just asking a question.
So I don't know who's in Glory.
The mere fact that this brother put in the movie, which was more important to me than his name. When Nat Turner went in the store with his mother and he looked at the library of books, in the European, he said, "Oh, Mama, give me a book." The European said, "No, son, you don't want those books. The Bible is all you need. Forget Slim name. That message there is crucial. Crucial. In the black church, who pushes religion? Women, not the men. But the crazy part is the women go to a church ran by who? Men. Help me understand that one. I'll be that. But then he's quiet now.
I'm
Who will mean that? There you go.
What?
Put on y'all too.
I'm trying to figure it out.
I need clarity, man. Help me understand that. Because forget his name. That message alone.
I like how y'all always try to
we
cycle change.
No,
plans.
listen, we're not.
With our toxicity.
Always do
Whatever.
All we saying is
With our toxicity.
Division, especially in this room. As long as we are women, we always gonna be divided.
that's not what I said at all.
Yeah.
That's
You
how
said.
I said I can't even in this room we are divided on this stance. And I didn't say even think about because y'all women. I can't. That's not what I said. See the message, but see how the message came across.
Yep. Just
See how the message came across.
And you right there though.
And I'm right here.
You wasn't third person.
No, you ain't heard from nobody else. You heard what you went in here and you took from what you wanted.
Just like
all I'm saying is.
Oh, Nick Parker. That's
Nick
the name.
Parker.
Thank you, Melissa.
It was Nick Parker. Already had.
What you want to hear?
But this is the thing. This is all we said is this is where the society is broken.
Nobody ever said we were going to the movies and give people our money. We just said we wanted to see the movie for whatever reason. You asked why.
For women empowerment.
No, we not. You said why. You asked why do we want to see the movie? We gave you our reason as to why. We never
Don't do that.
Don't do
Do not.
I'm just saying though, we keep allowing the same stuff to happen, but then we go back to doing the same things they want us to do. Like at some point we gotta take control of it, right? Black Panther was fictional. Anybody who wanted to see it should have went and saw it, and they did, right? Mm-hmm. These are our history. This is our history. These are our stories that we're allowing them to be taken, broken down to the form that they accept. Mm-hmm. They're not showing how bad it really was. They're not showing the struggle that we really went through and all the things that they had to endure. They're not showing that part of the movie. Right. They're showing it to their comfortableness, so where it doesn't make them look like the savages that they've always been. They show some of it, yeah, because we know people got whipped. We know they got, but they don't take it as far as how they raided these villages and pillaged our women and raped our children and did all this stuff. They don't show all of that. We know about it because we've read about it and we've been told those stories from our people of our past. Right. But they don't put that in the movies. They put what their truth is in the movies to not make them look, oh, but so bad. And if you always know, there's always one white man somewhere that's helping the cause. The savior. It's always a white man somewhere that's helping the cause. And I'm not saying that there was never a white man then that was for the cause. Right. But I didn't read about none of them, and I didn't hear about none of them in the stories that were passed down.
John Brown was one. Remember him? No. Look him up.
You know what I mean? I'm not saying that's what I'm saying, but I'm not saying that there wasn't, and there was, but they are always. It's not many. In every movie that you've ever seen, there's always the black man that was against us, and the white man that was for us. Right. And all that does is show what's going on in our society right now.
Melissa said, "All right, Pastor T."
Yeah.
She took you back to church. You see that woman thing? She took you back to church. You see that? You can't get away.
That's all I'm saying. That's why I'm not going to support it. Because I think it's going to taint
Indeed.
But we're going to allow our children to look at that as the truth about the struggle, and it's going to be a whole lot harsher. And the reality of it is a whole lot harsher than what they're going to portray on the big screen.
I grew up on a Lone Ranger. I'm sure you have too.
Mm-hmm.
Not until my 30s I realized the Lone Ranger, which comes out next year, is about Bass Reeves, the first Black Ranger that arrested everyone fairly. He didn't carry silver bullets. He carried silver coins, right? Not until the European got so frustrated with the arrest of his own kind, you can only arrest blacks and Indians, where Tonto came to the picture. But they casted him as a white man. He was not white by far. Bass Reeves, please check him out. Please. But
you're not going to support that because you're not interested.
I'm not going because I'm not interested.
I know. I'm talking to Malone over there.
I didn't want to. Never did.
Hell no, there you go.
Not taking it, and no disrespect to him, and nothing taking anything away from him. I'm just not interested in things like that.
You know what's crazy? And I saw this today. I didn't know what's coming out. I'd rather see Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood than see Harriet Tubman.
I just heard that they were doing that, but I want to
Tom Hanks playing. I said, y'all don't see that. You know what I mean?
So there's a lot of darkness.
What? What are they going to talk about, Mr. Rogers?
Oh, it's some darkness in
You
Mr.
must
Rogers.
be doing some stuff.
Hey, I never knew that he was a Marine. You know that? Marine, Navy SEAL, one of the two. He don't give that impression of.
I knew he was retired something, but I can't remember.
Yes. A Navy or Marine.
I don't remember as an adult, but I know he used to talk about it as kids being retired when he used to do X, Y, Z or whatever. As he put on his sweater, he would talk about what he used to do.
That was a choice. A little train come around.
I did see that. I saw that.
Classics. I'd rather watch that. You know who I think the last real masculine man of my childhood is, Mr. T.
Yeah. After that, it went downhill.
It went downhill from there, man.
Hey, on a separate note.
Yeah.
No, I ain't gonna say it.
Really?
Yo, the real Nat Turner kind of looked like that first black dude on the Power Rangers that had the bad haircut.
This guy. Did you say Nat Turner was a Power Ranger? Is that what you said?
Yo, look at
Because
this
he
picture.
sitting here looking at the picture.
Look at that picture, yo. They look like that first black nigga. They ain't had a shape up. They gave him the shape up line. Yo had that rounded shape up on the whole. Y'all, you know what black dude I'm talking about. He don't look like him. He look just like him.
No, you said I ain't had to point it close. I saw it.
On another note. But all I'm saying is, stand with us sometime. The world be so much more easy. You ain't gotta fight us on everything.
And you know what? And we're gonna go to another fictional thing, right? We got 10 minutes left.
Yeah, 10 minutes.
You mean you going to? You gonna do it whether we want to or not?
So I say we. As I say.
Yo, that sounds like a we to me.
You know what I mean? I had a discussion about power, right? And things that happens on this TV show that grown adults talk about. Like, he should divorce Tasha and get with what's her name? Yeah, before she got killed. Yeah. Right? So you're pushing division within the home and separating the family because you didn't like Tasha for whatever reason. I heard folk talking about, well, he need to kill his son. Tariq need to die. So, what are we saying? These are conversations that grown folks are having. I had a conversation today before I came in here about this very same thing. And while Ghost is trying to go right, get his family on an up and up as he's been with his son, go to school, get a degree, yada, yada, yada. Tasha won't let him, and I use that word loosely, because you can let him do anything.
She wants to stay here.
He's
trying to come.
Not only that, she wants to step in when it comes time to discipline his son. I ain't saying he should be killed, but he should have been hitting his mouth a long time ago, right?
Yeah.
But she continued to show, no, don't this, don't that. No one speaks about that. And that happens in the family present day. Because art imitates life all day long.
Yeah.
So if you're talking about, well, he should divorce her and go with her, or he should kill his son, what about when he's trying to raise his son to a man, and he don't want the beef with his wife, which most men don't. That's why most men just go along with whatever the woman says, because they don't want that beef in the home. Now this dude is out here, he sold like $3 million in drugs in one day. Like, how the fuck you do that? Right? Even though it's a TV show, but if art imitates life, when do you say, you know what, I'm gonna fall back and let you lead? You leading all this time, and obviously it's been beneficial to everyone in that situation, but she won't allow him to do that. Do you have any reason why? I'm not saying it's you.
Because the white girl caught me.
She ain't white.
No, Tasha's issue came into the picture when Angela came around. She wasn't that bad. She was all about ghosts. She was all for ghosts.
But yeah, you can discipline his son now.
Discipline him was an issue. He had a lot more control. He never had to discipline him. Like now, he need to be punched in his mouth. He just off chain.
You know why?
Like a lot of stuff he doing. Yeah, that was my son. My son's 6'2", and to this day he's 23. I believe if you did in your mouth, throat, whatever, because I don't know who you think you talk to.
Right.
But you know, it is what it is. I think a lot of that issue came in with that. Again, Tasha would talk about the dad around the kids.
Yep.
He ain't this, he ain't that, so he hears all these things. Not just him, other friends will talk about him around there. It don't matter what this man did in his past. He's trying to correct it so his children will have a better future.
Right.
If he's not putting it in your face for you to see it, you can't say that you know what he's doing. He know it because people have told it to him.
Right.
So he went looking for it. So it should be interesting.
Very much so. Very much so.
I didn't really say that.
What you say, yo?
You don't care nothing about it.
I know that's right. That's right.
There's nothing in this world that should justify anybody saying he should kill his son.
Yo, I saw.
There's a lot of these same motherfuckers talking about he should kill his son. Got sons out there that's like that.
Yeah.
Or don't know that it's coming.
They don't even know that.
You know what I mean?
Like a lot of them saying niggas is watching this shit, their homeboy sitting with him ain't had his son over their house.
Come on, man.
Yes.
But they're looking at it from a sense of the man being a hustler, like the most ruthless type of hustler. And, you know, I guess the myth is if you like that, you have no moral, no thought process, no mentality to you have no remorse for people. And I guess that's what the show is, to me, portraying. That this character will go to no length to take someone out, regardless whether it's family or not. That's what they're trying to portray.
And these same ones that are partaking in watching ain't in the street.
Yeah. So it's fiction. It's not real.
And it is life.
Some
You know what I'm saying? Some way, shape, or form.
You do got some people that are close to each other and they do some grimy stuff to each other.
But you know, a lot of these
Just like 50 with his son, real life. His son is dead to him. He killed him on the show. He was second.
Probably.
Yeah, there you go. All imitate life, right? So listen, we're gonna go ahead and close this out.
This was a great one, bro.
It was a great one. You know what I mean? It was a way to come back.
We didn't take 6 weeks off again.
Yeah, we might have to try that.
It's like we playing, y'all. We playing. We just joking.
No, but remember, starting next week, we gonna have a portion. We gonna get active on the page again. We gotta open the page back up. What we gonna do is we're gonna get a topic from our listeners. Question and answer process. We're gonna take the topic that gets the most conversation throughout that day, or throughout that week, and we're gonna take that. And that's what one of the topics of the show will be. More than likely, we'll lead off with it, so that way we can get people feedback. We can get people to call in, and join the conversation with us. Right. I think that's a big part of it. We thank y'all for hanging in there with us. We welcome y'all back. Our road warrior, we got the queen in the building. A man to the right. What's your name today?
Alfred, man.
All right, there you go. Once again, this is Two Shaded Dawn only on WMSK Online Radio.
Click the like buttons. Click the like buttons. YouTube, Facebook, Instagram.
Good night.
Good night, family.
All right, y'all have a good one.
Love in the building.
Haitians in the Bahamas are being rounded up and deported 2 months after surviving Hurricane Dorian. What? Tom Brady house Patriots quarterback buys a new home in Greenwood.
Yeah.